It has been over a year since my last upload, and even longer since any video that required any editing, like I'm doing now. So sorry about that. But I was living in Spain from November of 2020 to about June 2021, and I traveled around Europe for a month after. So, with some of the footage I got, and some artist creative renditions, as I'll call it, I'd like to show you a little bit about my life there. Alright, starting us right off the bat here is this very nice view of Madrid. We're on the 6th floor. Honestly, one of the best things about the apartment. That was the clothes drying rack. After you wash your clothes, you put them out there, let them dry out in the sun. Very common in Spain. Dryers are not that big of a thing like they are in America here. Closet was on the right, or a closet I put my coats in. Here we got the bathroom. Very nice. A little bidet there. You know, wish we had more of that in America. Those are very nice. Here's the kitchen. Inside the fridge, no, I'm not going to let you guys see inside there. That's most of my roommate stuff. I don't keep a lot of food in there, you know. No need. Another nice view. Nice view. 6th floor. Beautiful. That's a little phone on the right there. Let your guests in if you want. And here is my room here. The closet turned bedroom. Very small bed. Crooked chair. I didn't do that. A little messy, I will be honest, but when you're a YouTuber, you got to be honest and upfront with your community, with your viewers, you know, just got to do. That room costed me about 300 euros a month. I only rented out that one room, so even if I didn't have any roommates, which at one point I only had one roommate, I was still only paying 300 euros a month, which was a very good deal. But the company I was working with did not give me back my security deposit, even though I only there's like a small like little bent in that metal bed there, but that's just because, you know, large man, small bed, what were they expecting? So after this video, I think I'm going to email them again and try to get that 300 euros I deserve back. Now this is a picture of my neighborhood here, and my apartment is one of the buildings on the right there. And I would say what I lived in was very typical for most of Madrid, meaning most of Madrid is buildings like this, a 6 or 7 story apartment complex with a store of some sort or business at the bottom. And pretty much everybody, especially in Madrid, lives in apartments like this, which I actually kind of preferred because it gave more room for cool things like parks, and it made everything easily walkable, and especially with nearby metro stations. There wasn't really anywhere in Madrid or the Providence slash state, I'm not sure what they call it, of Madrid you couldn't get to by train or metro. I could talk about, you know, the differences of Madrid versus like a city like Milwaukee or Oshkosh I lived in all day, but I would say the biggest difference I noticed right off the bat was the amount of graffiti in Madrid. Graffiti is not as harshly punished as it is in America, so it leads to a lot of people, you know, writing their street art or just random things over all the buildings here. I mean, for example, this is the front of my building, my apartment. Most of it was really cool, but occasionally, you know, you would find the occasional, there's a guy who wrote his name, a little something like "was here" or something like that, thinking he's all cool or something. You know, and that guy, if you're watching this video, all I have to say is just grow up, buddy. Now, Spain is home to some of the world-class best cuisine on the planet, most of which I was unable to eat on a daily basis because it is expensive to go out and eat at restaurants. But I will show you the meals that did sustain me for the longest time while living in Spain. Alright, meal number 1, the eggs I call it. Get yourself a bowl and some eggs. We're going to crack 4 in there total. Then we're going to pour some milk in, mix that milk in, onions, that's a need. Then you're gonna fry it. That's also a need. You have to cook it. Trust me on that one. And then finish it off. Put some hot sauce in there. Now I call this one the meat plate, but for simplicity's sake, we'll call it the meats. First, You got to get some cheap meat from Lidl and some cheap condiments. Cook the meat, flip the meat and cook it. Put it on a plate, pour some condiments on that. Now, any cheap meat from your grocery store will work for this. Typically, I go with either pork or chicken. But again, any meat you find on sale, any meat that's old and just been put out 30% off, get that. Get some cheap condiments and get yourself a meat bowl, a meat plate, the meats, the meat, whatever you want to call it, really. Now, I mentioned these guys earlier, but trust me, for anybody going over to Europe, I'm talking to you right now. These guys are going to be very important for you. This place called Lidl. It's essentially a grocery store, but for my Wisconsin and Minnesota viewers, you can also think of them as the equivalent of a Quick Trip, in a way, in terms of where you're going to be heading off and for some food. Because at Lidl, especially in Spain, they have these 50-cent empanadillas, I believe they call them. Fucking terrible at pronouncing that word, but they're 50 cents. And these, along with all those other meals I listed, and essentially anything else on sale at Lidl, I'm not even joking, was about 90% of what I ate in Spain. It's affordable, and it's good. It's nutritious. I have a feeling, though, there's going to be some guy in the comments right now probably typing out, "Listen, Chuggy, thanks for showing me how to eat cheap in Spain. But I'm going to be honest, I got a little bit of money to me, so I want to know where can I find a good high quality dining experience when I'm in Spain." And to that, I'm going to tell them I don't know, dude. Just Google it, figure it out. Now, for my, let's say, appreciators of alcohol out there, if you need to know what beer to get while in Spain, I'm going to have to recommend you a Mao beer. That's Mao, not Mahao, as it may look. I'm not really a beer expert, but I rated it's good out of 10, or it's good in general. There's also Estrella. It's very popular. Never tried it or anything. Not racist, just never had a chance. I will say, though, you can try out all the beers you want in Spain, but steer clear of Ramblers. It is a very cheap beer sold at only one grocery store I saw, Dia. And it is the worst thing I ever tasted in my life. It is like only 19 cents a can, and it's not even worth that. If somebody offers you a Ramblers while in Spain, you need to run. You need to get out of that situation immediately. You are in danger, your life is in danger, and you need to treat that situation accordingly. Do not, under any circumstances, try this beer. Now, a normal day for me in Madrid compared to a normal day for me now back in America and even before I left, in a way, it's not that different. On the base, it was still kind of the same. I would go to work, go to the gym after, practice my Spanish, go home, maybe take a walk, stuff like that. With some key differences being in Madrid, I only worked 10 to 15 hours a week, sometimes less, so it gave me much more free time to explore Madrid and the areas around it. As you can see, some pictures here, up on a mountain. Very cool, very cool. Now, when I went to Madrid, and even now as I'm recording, COVID is still going on. But during the time, the entire province of Madrid was in lockdown, meaning I could not leave this area. Or maybe I could, but I didn't want to. I think some people did, but I didn't want to risk it myself, not, being a citizen there. So essentially, for about most of my time there, I could only explore this area, which was small, sure, but there was a lot of neighborhoods in Madrid alone, or small towns on the outside of it. And that's really how I would spend a lot of my weekends, kind of just picking a different neighborhood or a different small town I'd see on a map, trying to get there and explore it. In conclusion, I would say living in Spain or heading over to Spain was the best decision I've ever made in my life, or at least one of the best decisions. I loved living in Madrid. It's the best city I've ever lived in, hands down. And just the sheer like beauty of the place in general. It all the pictures I took are nice, but it doesn't really do it justice for at least the memories I have of it. And if I can go back again one day, I would love to. It's a bit hard. I don't know if I'll ever have that chance again, but yeah, at least I got to go one time. It was pretty cool.